So, for those of you who have a Traeger Silverton, there's an actual video for replacing the RTD on that. That's the remote temperature device. So, at least that's what I think it stands for. You got to take the two screws out of here. You unscrew the back of it. There's two screws. You can actually just end up unplugging this as well, and this feeds out underneath. Oh great, didn't need my face in there. Anyway, it feeds up into here, which you can't see because it's dark, or you shouldn't be able to, but if you can, oh there it is. Yeah, so that seemed like it wasn't going to pull out. So, and then you have two screws that hold it in up here. So what happens is you pull this up through, because this, the only way to get through it is it comes through the back of the grill here. As you can see, the wires there. It feeds around and goes through there. So in the video they show you, it's for a different the barrel style model of grill, and the temperature controller is right here, and it just feeds right in. Well, this doesn't do that. So what you're going to need is some string and some tape, and what you're going to do is you're going to take the end here, where here it is, that's good in focus now. You're going to tape the string to this, and it'll pull the string up through. So in a second, because it's hard to film with a phone, so I'm going to wrap the string through this, wrap it back over, use electrical tape, tape it on there, pull it through. So once I've got this taped up, I'll show you, then I'll pull it through. And don't bother cutting the string. I haven't cut it yet, so don't know exactly how long I'll need. So we're back here at the Traeger. I've pulled the wire tight so that I could put the tape properly on it. So I've got the string wrapped around the top here, pulled back down. There's the end of it, you can see there. And I've got the tape wrapped. I started in the middle, went up, and then I came back down, and I've left the end of the tape there folded over so that it's easy to take the tape off. You can also just cut the string if you want. You know, whatever's easier for you. Anyway, I'm gonna put the string on the ground. Now, we're gonna pull, and hopefully because this thing's got the end on it, I'm gonna probably have to, yeah, it gets stuck right at where it gets thick. Anyway, I'm gonna have to push that through with my hand and then continue to pull. So I was able to pull that through. Now I'm pulling the string, and as you can see, that thing is fun. The reason you're gonna need string is over here. I have the new sensor right here, and try not to move too fast. Some people might get feeling unwell at the speed. So these two, come on, focus, there we go. They're kind of weak where these pinpoints are, so it's very thin wire. So what I'm going to do is cover these with plastic to protect them, tape them up, attach them to the wire, the string I should say, the string we just pulled through, attach them to here, and pull it back through. So you're actually not even wasting string because I haven't cut it. So just roll it back up on the roll. You'll see you in a few minutes when I've got it all taped up. Okay, so I'm in the middle of taping this up. I've wrapped the probe tips in plastic. I just used a Ziploc bag that it came with and folded that over a bunch of times. So I taped the string in line with the rope. So I taped it, started here, and I'm going to go down to the end. I'm also going to come back up, and these are going to be folded over so that it's you can pull a little harder on it. If you just keep it taped up that way, there's a possibility that you could pull the string through the tape. Not a big possibility, but a possibility. Anyway, back to it. And we're back. Anyway, so I've got the RTD, which is what Traeger calls it. It's a thermistor. It's for it's a resistor that reacts to heat and cold, depending on what type of thermistor it is. But it changes resistance with the change in temperature. So that's how the computer gets its information on the temperature. Come on. Oh, looks like I'm going to have to use two hands for this. And I'll show you the end result, because what I'll do is pull the string. It'll pull this through. When it gets to the end here, I'll just make sure this part goes in nicely and lines up with the screws, and then I will show you where I'm going to hook that up in the front of the grill here, which is going to be taking out this screw and this screw and then popping this off. When you first pop it off, it's tied down with some zip straps or zap straps, whatever you want to call them. And so I'm going to be, once I've got it all screwed in, I will be putting zap straps back on or something like that. Anyway, next. So we got this pulled through, and the ends are looking good and they're intact. No bends in them. Perfect. That means I did it right. Anyway, I will be taking off the front next, wiring this up, and zap strapping it. And after that's done, closing it up. And I got to do a little cleanup from the last time we used it, because it didn't finish cooking, so forgot to do that. And then I will test it. Yeehaw. Out of the front of the grill, we've pulled this out. We've pulled our two wires through. We got ourselves a small screwdriver. I haven't actually checked to see, but this is where the two wires go. It doesn't matter which hole they go in. One goes in one hole, one goes in the other, and then there's small flatheads in here. I will loosen them off. It'll drop down a metal thing. I'll show that to you in a second. And then you stick the wire in and tighten it up, and it pulls the metal piece in tight to make a better contact with the wire. So if you can closely look, you can see the one closest to the inside of the board. Hopefully the video is not reversed, but it's on my left. You can see a piece of metal in there. So you stick the wire and one of these in there, and while holding it, you tighten the screw and it squeezes. I'll show you the end result. So here's the end result. You can see the two pieces of metal underneath the connectors there, and they're in just tight enough. Let's see if I can see they're in tight enough that I can pull on them, but I didn't like clamp them down like it's gonna go through I don't know, down an old gravel road bouncing around. So So I just tightened them enough that they're gonna be in there tight. So you just give it a tight when it gets there. You give it just a little bit more when it stops, and that's enough. Anyway, I'm putting this back together, and then once I test it, that'll be at the end of the video. Yeah. So back at the Traeger, I wanted to show you, if you want to be cheap, there's a tie strap that came with the wiring. So it's just like, I forget what those wire ones are called, that you got with you can use them on bread or whatever. So right here, come on, great, make your video as horrible as possible. Anyway, it's just twist tied, that's it. And then over here I went cheap too, did tape. And so what you want to do is fold your tape over at the top, so that if you ever need to, you can just grab this piece here, which isn't sticky because it's folded over, and then you can undo this again very easily. Now I'm going to put the I'm gonna find something else to tie this up here with, because that's obviously supposed to be like that. Anyway, you want to make sure your wires are away from any moving parts like this fan. So I'm gonna strap both of these up here against that. Okay, and we're back. I can't find any zap straps or zip straps, whatever you want to call them. So I'm going to use one of these. Basically, it's a metal wire inside a piece of paper, and I'm going to loop it into this hole here, and then put a few things on it. A couple of the wires, this one and the other one, just to keep them from moving around and possibly hitting that fan and this fan here. So if you can't see it, this is a fan here. So anyway, I'll do that. Then I'll put on this cover here, and then it'll be done, except for the testing. Okay, so she's been washed, cleaned up, and all put back together. Now we're going to do a test after assembly. Flick the switch on. Look at that. And there we have it. Let's see how she does. Gonna close the lid now that it's started. Actually, no. You're supposed to open when you're smoking it to start, anyway. So in a few minutes, I'm gonna stop this right now, or pause it, and then we'll get back to this when she starts getting up to temp. She's at 89 degrees right now, 90. So now we've gotten up to 116 degrees. I had to close the lid, 117 now. I had to close the lid to get it to go above 90. As you can see, she's smoking really good. So now we're going to crank her up to 450. It just says high, but flashes 450. And we'll see if it goes up and reads temperature rate. Then we'll know for sure that it's completely repaired. Well, she's at 152 right now, 153 now. She seems to be going up pretty good, pretty fast. So I'm satisfied that it's working. I'm going to put it into the shutdown cycle. Let it do its thing. And so I got to head over to Costco before it closes. Anyway, that's the end of this. And that's how you fix the Silverton, or replace the Silverton, what is it called, an RTD? Whatever, the temperature device in the back of the Traeger here, for this particular model anyway. Have a good one.